Okay, now it says we're live here too. I think. Chat, let us know if you're there.
Oh, I'm getting an
Yep.
ad. I
Yep.
think we're live.
Yes.
Whoops.
Okay. I'm going to mute us on my second thing. There we go. All
Okay.
right.
Yes. We're going.
We're,
We're
we're rolling.
cooking.
All right. We had technical issues on top of technical issues. You know, scheduled for 8. We're here at 8:30. We'll try to
And
push that
it's
down maybe 8:15 next time.
it's to be expected, As you said, Dakota, I've been very excited about my Legions, so who has time to troubleshoot technology
All right.
in times such as this?
Well, let me see if I can pull up the chat on here. Oh, that's studio chat. That's just chatting Jordan. Hmm. I might have to go over to the YouTube for our actual chat.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Judge Dredd says it helps if you plug it in. That is true. That's always a good place to start. I didn't think of that.
Ray says it's crisp video. Good. Okay, I was worried he was going to say it was
Crisp.
bad video. Good. Um, all right, cool. So, like we were saying, kind of, and if you've read the description, I never read a description of any live streams that are ever happening, but
Mm-hmm.
um, Jordan is finally, he's finally taken that deep dive
Finally.
into Mythic Legions. So
It
it
only
only
took
took,
me however long it's been.
right.
Right.
We interviewed Jeremy, I don't know, at least 2 years ago now, probably
Some
more.
time ago.
Yeah.
You were in
So
right away, Dakota. It took me a little bit longer.
yeah, we were just talking before Jordan got on, or before we went live, as he was trying to fix all of his stuff. Um, he was looking at things to buy, and he was like, "Oh, I want those green parts," and I was like, "Oh, that's how you know you're in it.
Now
If you're
he's
seeing the figure and its components."
now he's really thinking like a Legions man. So
Right.
you always get your way with these things eventually, Dakota. So, it just took a little bit longer this time.
Yeah. Which I've been pushing for a while, but I feel like you're kind of like that toxic boyfriend that's like, I had to wait for so long, and then you gave me my reward after a while, and like now I've
I'm
been
the
doing my
toxic
happy day.
boyfriend?
I think so. I think you're the toxic
Aren't
boyfriend.
you? Okay.
Am I the toxic boy? How
Interesting.
am I the toxic boyfriend? Because I
I don't
pushed you so
know.
long, and now I'm like
Well, you
excited that you're
finally just
finally
get
doing the
what
thing
you
I
want.
want.
It took me
Yeah.
making this guy, Dakota. As you recall, we were at the Armory experience at the LegionsCon. I made this Red Knight guy, came home and put some pieces on him, and I was really loving this guy. And it's the putting on the cape, Dakota, putting on the skull, and getting all the
Mm-hmm.
pieces, and being like, "Wow, that looks pretty cool." And I put it
Yeah.
together. So that's all it really took.
Yeah, I think, and that's kind of what I'd been telling you for years too. Is as soon as you get a Mythic Legion, you just got to pull it all apart, see that it can come into pieces, and you can put it back together just the way it was if you want to,
Right.
or you can start swapping the armor. You can put on different heads.
Hmm.
I think
I
that's
pop
where
and
the
swap
fun.
so hard with one of my skeletons, Dakota. Sadly, he's completely decapitated now.
Oh no, you broke his neck.
Well, I was trying to put a new head on, and with my one of them, I had to put on a little more pressure. I'm trying to look on the bright side because now I can have a totally headless skeleton, which honestly might work for me because other I mean I've still got two others, so
Right.
there's no but I'm thinking of a scene where you can get him and get like a string on his head, and it
Mm.
looks like somebody conked his head off or something. Or you always put him in the back of his scene and he's chasing his head around. So I'm gonna work on that. But
I like it. You could always like balance it on a sword too, like somebody stabbed through it.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see.
All
But
right. Okay. So I was thinking for this episode that we would, or this live stream, we would take a look at Source Horseman, kind of go through some of the maybe more recent waves first. Maybe what's on pre-order now that we've looked at before, but now you're going to see it with fresh eyes, fresh
mm,
fan eyes. See what
right,
maybe you're like. Ooh, maybe I need to go back and grab some of these because you've been kind of on a tear this week. Of you've got several coming in, right?
Yeah, well, I bought two from the what is it called?
It's
Where
like
it's
the in
just the in
stock.
stock. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I got two there, and then I did a trade with a guy recently, and I've got three coming in there, Dakota. So you'd be quite happy that I've got within 1 week 5 Mythic Legions coming in.
Yeah, so you're
Um,
getting Dubon and the Gold Knight from the in stock, and then from the other guy
no, no,
you're
no. In
getting
stock was Golden Knight and Varg,
Varg. Right,
and then
right.
I had a trade for Dubon, the unknown one, regular, and Valak, who I've been wanting
Yeah,
for a while. So,
right.
and I bought two vampire heads from a guy. So it's just,
Mm.
yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
out of
because
control.
you
But
got
I'm
the
trying to.
two on the right side or the two on the left.
I think one of them was was it Volgar, the old looking
Yeah.
guy who's like in a
Uh-huh.
cloak thing, and then
Yep.
one I don't know what the other one was, but it was like a more
It might have been from the
scowling,
Yeah, I think that was from the heads pack.
like a yelling vampire head or
Yeah.
something. So,
Yeah. That's heads pack there. So okay, so I'm gonna share screen and we're gonna kind of go through
hmm
some of the waves. We'll probably go through some of the more recent waves a little quicker.
hmm
And then we'll maybe take a look at some of the things that you've missed out on from previous, but you know, it's never too late and there's always going to be more legions coming. So,
new for
um,
me.
exactly. We'll start with special releases because those aren't too crazy to find, but they're pretty cool.
hmm
Um, all right. So, and you can kind of point out what's tickling your fancy, and then I'll kind of share what I think you should be taking a little bit
Right,
harder look at. Can you see the
right.
chat at all, Jordan?
I have it pulled up on YouTube here. I think
Okay. Like on your laptop?
yes. So
Okay,
I might
cool.
be momentarily
A
delayed
little
there,
delayed.
but
Yeah, that's fine. You
hmm
keep an eye on the chat because I can't really see it when I'm sharing my screen. So,
okay.
um, all right. So I think already on this page, you've got quite a few. You've got the Furious Four. So you've got Praetorian Pelvicus, Lord Bushati,
hmm
and Uwit. You
Mm,
also have Skeleton Builder. You've got the unknown one coming in, and that's
I
it for
do.
this page. You were kind of interested in this undead from Vikingfell, right?
I was. I think the more I looked at them, I'm not as into it. I think Dakota. I
Oh,
gotta
really?
admit,
Okay.
it's a little. I mean, is it supposed to be like a lady skeleton?
I don't think so. I think it can be,
Not that I
maybe.
couldn't have a lady skeleton, but it reminds me of the Santa buck, which I think is kind of feminine. Not that it
Yeah.
has to be feminine, or not that that's bad.
Yeah.
It's just it's
This is
kind
a
of different for me.
Yeah, it's a 2.0 skeleton, which is I'm pretty sure I don't chat. You can maybe help me out. I'm pretty sure those builder skeletons are 1.0 because
Right.
1.0 is more the bigger, 2.0 is more the slender, like elves and goblins, things
Right.
like that.
Well, yeah,
So
maybe not as feminine, but I don't know. It's not quite the
not
and
big
I
and
get it.
bulky.
It's not big and bulky. Not that it has to be, but I
Okay.
feel like you could use the if you had a good female head, pop it on the Saint Nicholas body. To be quite honest with you, and I think it would work.
Yeah, I think
I don't know
probably.
if that's the intention, but that's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not
Chat's
necessarily my
saying that
ideal skeleton.
the skeletons that you have there that you broke his head is a 1.0. So yeah, that's going to be a
Yeah,
little bit
and
thicker of a skeleton.
and yeah, and everyone, you got to know, I got two other skeletons, so I did totally decapitate one, but I've got two others, so don't you worry
Yeah.
about that.
Your buddy Fikret is saying that the Ninian infantry looks cool.
Is that the
Snick
snake
Man.
guy that I didn't go and buy?
Right. Yeah, they were sold out. Well, you sold out
I
before you
probably
got
missed
there.
them. You bought
Yeah.
them all.
I bought my fair share,
I
which I've
tried to
already
buy
traded.
one last month, Dakota, but but Dakota bought them all. So
Yeah. My bad. It's a good figure. If I was thinking, I would do this for you,
but
Jordan. If you want, like,
no, dude,
if
no,
you
dude,
decide,
don't do that.
not necessarily to give you the, I mean, if you really want a Ninian, I'll give you a Ninian. But if you want
hmm
something like older that is tickling your fancy, that's a little bit more expensive, then I would,
hmm
give you my Ninian to trade for, because I was able to trade one of my
Ah, I
Ninians for
see. Okay.
a Fastia, which was number one on my wish list.
hmm
So, you were sort of looking at a Sir Gerard, right?
I think he would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it's one of my favorites, I think.
Hmm.
Just as like itself, I haven't pop and swapped him, but just as is a good figure.
Yeah,
I like this head, the skeleton head with the kind of hood and
that is a
helmet.
cool head.
I mean, this one's cool too, so you can't really go wrong with it. And I like the swords that he comes with.
The red and black is a cool color combo. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Um, I really love this 2-pack from LegionsCon. I think maybe you would like this one a little bit more. I don't know if you. I just think this one's kind of cool with the more bear
Mm.
parts. But you don't really have any orcs or anything, right? Not yet.
Closest thing would be the Furious Four red guy, but
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah,
I've been telling you too that you need to get this Liege of the Elite Elven Guard because he comes with a ton of stuff. You can have the armored
mm.
parts, you can have the unarmored parts, and that's good for pop and swaps. Like I think the bear black
Ooh, that
stuff is
does look
really helpful.
nice.
So
Yeah.
that one I would keep an eye out for that because
Hmm.
you're also having that gold knight coming in, so you're going to have some gold parts to work with.
That's true.
So this one's going to have a little bit more of the details, like with the red and stuff. Gold knight's just going to be, I think, straight up gold all the way through.
Right.
So if you wanted to add a little bit more color,
Hmm.
you could. But yeah, the black parts are, I think, what got me to buy this one. But I also like that head too. And that
Yeah,
head, I don't know if that head would work for, because you got some of the bear barbarian parts too.
that's true. I
Um,
did.
I can't remember if I've seen part swaps with that or not, but might
Hmm.
work.
You never know.
Um, all right, so let's go to stuff that's coming. Like Necronominus is on the water now, and this was
I've
kind of
got
one
some of
that you
those
were,
coming.
yeah. So you got the Maxilius the Harvester,
Uh-huh.
and did you end up getting an undead, or did you just do
I thought I
Necronominus and
did. Which
Conibus?
one came with? I think
So
the
you,
Necronominus with the Conibus, and then
yep,
I got an extra one, and then I got Maxilius the Harvester for my
okay,
picks, I think. I know
nice.
you were all in on the Terpiculi, and I
Oh yeah.
passed on that. You're probably gonna say I'm
How I
an
mean, how are you
absolute
feeling about that
fool.
now that you're
Now that
more
I'm
into
getting
it?
into it,
Yeah, does it
let me
change your
see.
opinion at all?
Let's click on that bad boy.
All right.
Yeah, I probably should have gotten at least one of those, huh?
I mean, I think I got.
You got like 15.
I think I might have 4 coming. At least I for sure have 3. I can't remember if I ordered a 4th or not.
Yeah, this is
I'm
probably foolish of me to not snag one of these bad boys.
yeah.
How much was he
Um,
again?
he was a little bit more. I want to say he was probably 40 in the
Oh,
pre-order. He might
geez,
be
really?
50 in the yeah, because he comes with all this stuff and
Yeah, 40 really isn't bad though.
right.
It's
So it's
pretty
like
amazing price actually.
yeah, I'm guessing he's probably retail 50. Maybe I don't. Let's pull it up. I'll look him up on Big Bad Toy
Oh, I
Store
was
real
gonna
quick.
check him out, but you got it.
Yeah, I got you.
All right,
You check the chat.
okay. Check our chat here. We got people telling me to buy the 3-foot dragon. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Someone says you better have the skeleton head pack coming if you have 4
Oh, I
Terpiculites
definitely
ordered.
do.
He
I do.
definitely does. Don't worry,
I was so
guys.
excited about that. I think my wife came in as I was watching the live stream. I was like, Savannah, look at this, and she's like, oh, you got to get that for sure. So it's coming.
Yeah, I could technically still hop on Big Bad Toy Store and get one of these, right?
Yeah, I just looked. He's 54.
So you paid what, like 40? Maybe a
Yeah,
little
something
more?
like that. Maybe more or less. I can't remember exactly. It
Eh,
didn't really
like
matter.
a
I said,
$10 surcharge. It's not too bad
yeah,
to price to pay for my
yeah.
ignorance.
And plus, I paid that price. I don't know, a long time ago. Whenever this was pre-ordered, so
Right.
it's it's kind of that like do you want to give your money up right away? You want to
Mm-hmm.
maybe you use that money to buy yourself a lot, sell it, and you make more money. Whatever.
It's true.
All right, let's get back into Necronomina. I've been saying Sir Exec. You don't have any big figures yet, but like, come on,
Yeah,
Jordan.
I don't know if
Still okay,
that
okay,
still
okay.
might be where I don't know if I can follow you there yet.
Understandable, understandable. Even me, I'm like, I got so many. I'm a slut for big figures, so I'm gonna have so many soon. You didn't get the Undead Builder pack. That was tempting for you before.
It was.
Is it any more tempting to you now? Knowing, like, look at all these parts that you'd have to pop and swap with here, Jordan.
That is true. Those are a lot of
Heads,
parts.
hands. Got undead parts. You've got ghostly parts.
Yeah, there could be some variety in my undead army.
Yeah.
Some undead ghouls, perhaps.
You've got lots of knights now. Or maybe not a lot.
I'm
You
trying
have
to add
knights.
some diversity of some humanoids, so I got at least
Y-
got my gold knight. I got a red knight. Sam's got the. I don't think I really get into the Templar thing, to be honest. I don't see
No?
myself.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not quite my jam. I gotta admit. I think I
Yeah.
like a more regular looking knight.
Okay. That's fair. Um,
Nothing against,
sure. All right.
against
Let's
your
move on from
Templar
here.
collecting. Okay, yeah. Let's keep
Let's
going.
go back into All Stars 5 because you've got some of these figures on the way. Which reminds me, we've got a Illigar that we're going to be giving away here soon. Probably the
Mm.
next episode we record together, we'll probably do that. But you've got Dubon,
Uh-huh.
and that's it from this. You almost got a Xylarian Guard, but somebody beat you
Almost,
to it.
but this guy, yeah. But I'd still like to get one. I think he'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Those are
I
probably
was,
my two favorites of this page.
yeah, I was saying that I think that the Xylernian Guard has the best shield in all of Mythic Legions. Like I know there's other faction shields, but I think this one looks the coolest. So, my opinion there.
He does look
What about?
sweet.
I feel like Romulus is up your alley. A little gladiator action for you, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. Maybe I just haven't quite seen enough of the cool gladiators in person. Somehow that I'm not sure.
Okay.
Do you have him or no?
I do. I have. I bought. This was the first wave I
Went
was
all
able
in.
to pre-order, and I went all in. I sold Boreas because I just didn't have room for horses really. I
Mm-hmm.
sold Okiedos because I didn't really like the blue vampire.
Mm-hmm.
I sold Dubon because I was hoping he'd be a little bit more blue, but he was more gray, so I was like, meh,
Mm.
didn't need him. And then I have all the rest. So
Okay.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say the black jaguar head here would go well with your black parts if you got that Li Jiang and the Elven Guard. Do a
Mm.
little swap action. Anyway,
That's a good point.
Poxus is out. Poxus himself was kind of interesting to you.
He was.
How do you feel now
Yes.
that you're a little more into it? Are you like,
A little
you don't?
deeper in. Um, that's still probably the most interesting one of this lot to me.
Okay.
Um, yeah, he would probably be cool with some skeletons. That's
Yeah.
where I'd imagine him.
Okay.
Like I'd almost have him and my whatever my red vampiric knight. Maybe the red vampire guy's got some vampire guys fighting Poxus in his
Mm,
skeleton army or something like that.
yeah. I like your.
Now you're thinking.
I mean, you're just making up your own stories here because you probably haven't even really like gotten into the lore of Mythic Legions, so it's all like this is what
Yeah,
I've said.
kind
I
of
don't need to know the characters. I
loosely.
just make up my own stories for who they are, and
Right.
that's where
Yeah,
you're
I guess
at,
that
Jordan.
is kind of the cool quality of like when you were a kid and you'd see a toy and you're like, this guy looks cool, and then you could just kind of impose whatever you wanted on him.
Yeah, I think I will tell you, you need to look into Thrace a little bit more, Jordan.
Okay.
Put her on your radar, because I think this is a pretty cool character.
Yeah,
Like it's pretty simple, but magic wielding. You've got a lot of spell effects.
that's true. I did like that part of it.
So I'm just saying, take a
Yeah,
look.
take a look.
I think
Jump.
you'd probably like these two guys here, Zende and Samir. Just again,
Mm-hmm.
more spell casty type things. I think Zende could fit a little bit more into like a ranger category if you didn't want him to be like
Oh yeah.
necessarily a spell caster. But he comes with pretty cool spell effects, pretty cool staff.
Ranger wizard.
Right.
You're a wizard.
So that's I think another one. But yeah, I think Poxus would be right up your alley, being a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
monsterish. Legion Builder reinforcements. This is I don't. Maybe we save
Mm,
because you really like the Legion Builder, like Deluxe Legion Builder skeletons, but maybe
that's
we
true.
save your whole like breakdown now because that used to be your favorite. I don't know if it still is, but we can do a
Legion Builder
ranking of your
skeleton.
yeah.
Mm,
But this is a
yeah,
different skeleton Legion Builder than the one you have. You have kind of more yellowish.
that's true. I've seen this one available before. Haven't
Hmm.
snagged him, but he does look cool.
Yeah,
I think I would probably diversify my next picks into being less
mm,
skeleton based because I like that Black Knight. Let me see that guy.
okay.
I think he
So you
looks
got
kind of cool.
yeah a few different options for heads on him. You've got the kind of more
What's his like
regular.
value these days? Do you think? Is
He's a little
he's
bit higher.
mm,
Because I've kind of liked the look of him too. I think if you want the Black Knight, then you go with the newer vampire reinforcements too, and it'd probably be a lot more economical to just buy a Black Knight helmet and then throw it
mm,
on this type of body because it's different, but it's similar enough that it's going to be way cheaper to buy this guy in stock for 25
mm-hmm,
bucks or whatever he is, and then you can just swap his helmet.
is it the same
But you kind
like
of have
color?
like, yeah, it's all black.
All right,
His weapons are kind of purplish, but then you'd also have an extra vampire head too.
that's true.
So that I would think that would be a much cheaper option because people usually sell those extra vampire heads, or not vampire, Black Knight heads. Because I think I have
Right.
both of those. I for sure have the black bucket helmet,
Mm-hmm,
but yeah, that'd probably be the cheaper way to go about that one.
mm-hmm.
Also, I was saying like one of the very first Legion builders I ever got was this orc, and I was shocked at how cool he was for being a Legion builder.
Mm,
So if you don't have any orcs yet, or you have the red orc, but I really
I
like
do.
this one. This one was pretty shocking how cool I liked him. But he's probably he might be a little more expensive. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I really liked getting him. Let's go up to All Stars 4. We're kind of getting a little bit older here now. You have Tibius was your first Legion, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good one.
I still got Tibius. Like him.
Anybody on here that jumps out at you as a possibility?
Mm, maybe just because I like the General Knights, the Sir Owain, but
Yeah, I think Sir Owain is a lot because I said I put my Tibius cape on my Sir Owain, and
mm,
I think that like made me like Sir Owain way more. I almost sold him, and then I just put a black cape on him, and I was like, actually, he's one of my favorites now.
mm.
So
One of my critiques, Dakota, will be I think the capes need a little more reinforcement on the circle holes.
yeah,
Like I
I
got
agree.
my is it Tibius? My Tibius cape,
Mm-hmm.
and like the circle is basically just about totally worn away on the wrist
Mm.
peg, and I really haven't done that much with them. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
a complaint people have or if there are ways to navigate that, but
I mean some of the new stuff like Vorgus Vermilius 2 here comes with a cape, and this one was a little different where they didn't have those like kind of those punch out cape holes. This had I think like loops that you could put it through,
yeah, I think a
which
loop would be way better
yeah,
than uh those little peg hole
yeah,
dealios.
yeah. This one was much better, and they had that with the 2 pack with Attila and Gorgo Aetherblade too. While we're on him, how do you feel about this guy? Because he's kind of a blood armor
I've seen him
vampire.
before. I think he looks cool. Yeah. I think since I've got my one that I made, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
content with my red blood armor type situation, but that is a
Sure.
cool looking cape.
Okay. That's what I figured. Is since you had made one like that, you probably would just want the one you had made.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is going to be lots of extra parts for you. What do you want to look at here?
Probably the Gorgo Aether Blade has been one that
Okay.
I've taken a look at before.
I think when we were interviewing Jeremy, this is what he was saying got him into Mythic Legions. Yeah, I mean that's
That one is
just
pretty
as an action figure, I think that looks pretty
immaculate.
sick. Yeah,
There's a cool sword too. Sword
yeah,
rocks.
yeah. I think that's probably the best sword in all of Mythic Legions.
In the lore, it is an important sword. Is that my understanding
Yeah,
from you?
yep. That's
The
I
Aether
think
Blade.
yeah, I think I maybe sent you a picture of Savannah holding the Aether Blade from
Mm,
Trollhead Studios.
hmm
They have a forge and they made one for the studio.
Love that.
Um, so these would be the elves. We'll go with the female elves, but this would be your 2.0 body. That's
hmm
kind of like the Father Christmas. So I don't have any. I have a shadow elf, but I don't have any
hmm
of the regular elves. I think these would be kind of cool just to have like the options. Like I kind of like this bucket helmet with the green and
hmm
silver. I like that
Yeah.
look. But you got two torsos, lots of weapons. I like this style of sword too, the short sword.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I've seen those recently. Those do look pretty cool.
go back. I've got this deluxe male orc builder. Another pretty cool one. Lots of different looks you can get out of him.
hmm
This would be, I think this one goes for like 80-ish. And I think that's pretty worth it. And maybe you could find it a little bit less if it was loose. But I think this is kind of how I have mine displayed. Bare torso.
Yeah. That's how you like to display yourself
It
usually.
is, yeah.
Bare
Get
torsoed.
get a little warmer and might be doing my podcasts in a swimsuit.
Ooh,
Break out
folks,
the
stay tuned
bikini.
for that.
Strong collectors after dark. Keep
You don't have to pay
keep
extra
teasing it.
for that on this channel. Not yet.
Right. All right, let's go. We'll probably do Alithia, and then we'll just go like all legions
We
after that
got
because
Lee
Alithia's
86 recommended I get the Xylarnian Guard secondhand, cheap and super nice.
yeah,
That probably would be the one that I think I'm looking at next. To be honest, at this point, if I could
nice.
snag one,
Yeah,
so
I mean, I
that's
think
pretty
if you
high
just
on my list right now.
like they said, if you put a hit out in the Cabal, just saying looking for this figure,
It
loose or
was,
whatever.
yeah, it was Valak there, but I now have him on the way, so I
Yeah,
am quite stoked to get him. Healers, pretty legit for
yeah.
me. So
This is one that I was always tempted by, and you almost got Valak, but
I did, and then
you
like I
gave up.
don't
You gave up
think
your you gave up your Valak to get me my Forest Troll, and by the time you had
oh,
got
did
me my
I?
Forest Troll, Valak was sold out.
Yeah, see, did it for you, man.
You did, and
But healer's very cool. I love that purple, the white, the vampire head. Comes with a bird, eagle. I mean, come on.
can't beat that.
And it can be fun because now I'll have two little eagle birds between that and Dubon's
Oh
bird.
yeah, that's right.
Battle of the Birds. Maybe I'll just set up a massive Legions shelf behind me, Dakota, in your honor and
I
my
I
own honor.
I would love to see it.
Just a giant scene.
Yeah,
Goes across two panels.
just you need a new shelf. How about this Lord Bardrick down here? Does he tickle your fancy at
Is
all?
that the half guy? Is that the centaur?
No,
Oh.
he's more like the ranger.
Okay. I kind of struggle with the centaur.
Yeah, I kind of do too, honestly.
Um, eh, eh,
Not so much. I like his
doesn't
colors.
really.
I like
Yeah,
the brown and green, and just looks
something
very
about that could be
forest.
kind of cool.
Yeah. This is the Centaur Farius. This was another one of the first-ish ones that I got. I've always wanted a Centaur figure, and then getting it in hand, I was kind of like, I don't know, not disappointed by it, but I think it's just kind of that it takes up so much space, and you can't really. I think a Centaur lives in your mind much better than it can live in plastic. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I need to spend more time with him or something. But
Centaurs are meant to be roaming free
right,
in the
it
realm
looks
of
really cool though.
imagination. Yeah,
Like seeing this, I'm like, actually, no, I love this. But in
it's
hand,
just
I'm
the
kind of
horses are so big.
right. It does
I
take up
got
a
my
lot of real
moose, and
estate.
I mean, you don't think about it, but that moose takes up a good amount of space.
It does,
I
for
love it.
sure.
It's a great moose, but there's only so many.
So you have Baron Volliger two's head coming. What about the rest of him? Is it
I think I
is this
like the
too?
idea. He might have
Mhm.
too much stuff on him, though. I
Yeah,
think that was my concern. I saw him and I thought he was kind of cool, but to me, it's almost like, what can I really do with that guy?
yeah. I think
He
I need
looks
to.
a little.
He just seems kind of like he's in a snuggie or something. So I think maybe I need to just post in the cabal, like asking people for
What does he
pictures
look
of
like without all his stuff on him?
either that or just like pose him up a little bit more. Like, I mean, this is very like he looks like a regal, like in charge kind of vampire. So it's like he's probably just in the throne room looking like this. But yeah, I kind of would like to see him in a little bit more of an action pose. I think the head looks really cool and like all the
Yeah,
details here are awesome. But
we got
I,
a slot, mock slot. Is that a? I just realized he says, I like Baron a lot more after taking off his soft goods.
hmm, which I think I feel the same way about that as I do with Tharnog from the Poxus wave. Let me
He
pull
says he's
him up.
very detailed under his soft goods. Well, there you
Oh,
go. Maybe we need to just
yeah.
take a look underneath his layers.
Because I felt the same way looking at Tharnog at first, but then when I started seeing some pictures of him without all of his soft goods on, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this looks a lot cooler. Because yeah, it's almost too much for me.
Right. So yeah, maybe it'd be different if I saw him. That would
Hmm.
maybe sway me a bit.
Yeah. So all right, let me go up here to
Arnog.
Mythic checklist. All right, so I'm gonna
Ooh.
scroll a little bit. I won't stop on every single one,
Mm-hmm.
but you tell me on which ones you're wanting me to stop on, or if there's something I really think you need to look at. Zoom in a little bit more. Can I? There we go. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
I mean, right off the rip here, though, Arethyr. I think this one is kind of like this looks very Mythic Legions to me.
Right. Just a nice classic fire demon.
Right. Does it call to you at all, Jordan? Or you're like, I'm happy to not have to worry about that.
And it doesn't quite call to me,
Okay.
so I'm
Understandable.
okay. But
All right.
I
Moving
I
on.
would see the appeal. Um,
I like Balam. I would
we've
put that.
got Zach Hunt, who I also work with. Dakota says, huge Lord of the Rings fan and orcs. I really like All Stars Gorthok.
Mm, yeah,
It's
it's a
like
good one.
if Exhibit was Peter Jackson's right hand guy. Pimp my orc. Who is he talking about? Who's Gorthok? Was that the guy you just?
No, that was Tharnog. I'll scroll down
Who's
to
who's
Gorthok.
Gorthok?
Gorthok. This one. You kind of liked him.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, he is pretty fearsome looking. I do think he was one that when we were going through, I was like, ooh,
Mm-hmm. Yes, for me though, this
yeah.
one is like a total pass because I don't really like the darker, like grayish purpley look of these orcs. But I
Mm.
remember you were a little bit more
I
into it
think I'm
when.
more into that than like the greens they go with.
Oh,
Those don't
interesting.
appeal to me as much.
Yeah, I'm much more
Maybe
down
I
with the
wouldn't mind a
greens.
green orc, but maybe less like green, maybe
Okay,
more subdued green. Hulk
sure.
green, maybe.
Yeah, I like Asterion. One of my toy shops in Madison had one that I was thinking about trying to trade for, but I was like, probably have to give up too much stuff, and so I would love
Oh,
if they did another
Zach had
version of
recently
him.
bought his first NECA, and he got a Hellraiser. Might be his first action figure though. So, but he has a
Hmm.
buddy who's into Legions here locally. So
Hmm.
he'd asked about if the Valiant Knight. Do you have the Valiant Knight?
I did, and then I think I traded it for like something older, and then I think I might have sold the other one because it was just going for too
Okay.
much, and I was like, I'm more excited about other knights.
So Dakota did have the Valiant Knight, and it is now gone.
Yeah,
So that he's got other cool stuff. Okay,
that's
let's
true.
keep going here. I think.
You liked this first look of Baron Volliger also too.
I do like that one. I like the purple and black. Looks kind of cool.
Hmm. I have this one, but I didn't really like the look of this one just as itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I pop and swapped him to go with the Zazar, the blue demon. So I used kind of more of the black armor on him, and I really like that look.
Mm-hmm.
Belphegor, does that tickle your fancy at all?
Belphegor. Let me see him.
Okay. This is I think I've got two of him, but I just like popped him apart and used him for his pieces.
That is kind of a fun, like, demon skull head thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
He does look cool.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like him. I like that collar piece too that he's got. Like it doesn't. It's
Right.
just sits on the bare chest. It's not like the other knights where it like plugs into the back.
You definitely got your body.
Yeah, they got it spot on.
I mean, Black Knight. I really do think that Black Knight. I think he looks cooler than the Vampire Knight. Sorry,
I
dude.
agree. No,
I
I
think
agree.
I'd save my pennies for Black Knight rather
Okay.
than going with Vampire Hack.
Yeah, I haven't looked up his price recently, but I just know when I was wanting him, I was like, not really worth
Black
my money when I
Knight's
was.
yeah, he
Yeah,
looks cool.
yeah.
I'm not so much into the dwarves at this point. I'm not sure what that is about. If I
Like
will at some
Bromden
point.
or Borthar, both of these guys.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking that in general, just looking at them. Not
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know. I'm not sure why. I get it. The dwarves are a very traditional fantasy character, and I
Yeah,
like the dwarves and Lord of the Rings are cool. It's just I don't know. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I only have one now because of the 2-pack, and it comes with the extra set of legs. I think this
Mm,
one is probably one of my favorite dwarves out of all of them. I like the black and gold and red. I like that he
Brandon
comes with
Ironjaw.
a removable crown, kind of
That's
more of the
cool.
knight helmet. So yeah, I like him.
That is a nice setup.
He's older though, so it's a little bit more expensive.
Hmm.
How about the little bit more Viking?
Yeah, there are
There you
some
go.
Viking ones I think I've considered a bit more.
I like this. I think I like this head a little bit more than the
He's
other.
very Viking looking.
Yeah. You have Bryophytus, right? Did you open
Got
him
him
or is he sealed?
sealed, dude. He's still
Okay.
sealed up tight. Maybe I put hit. Nah, he's not really worth much. Probably wouldn't trade
No,
me
he's
anything.
not. Yeah.
What about you have Brother Mandibulus?
I do have Brother Man. I just got him at LegionsCon this
How
year.
do you like him?
I think it's way cooler than I was expecting because I got him because I was like, oh, this is like an older
Let
one,
me
like
see
very
this guy, dude. Let
very
me see
important to
this
the.
brother here.
There we go.
Mm. Mm. Skeleton Knight.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
it's again the black red. That's a good color combo. I like his
Right.
weapons.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good character. It
Yeah.
was much cooler than I was expecting. He's got like a soft goods skirt piece too.
Right.
Another vampire, Carpathius. Does that interest
Uh,
you at all? A little bit more knight looking.
let me see him.
This is an early one.
Carpathius. Oh yeah, he looks kind of cool.
He's going to cost you probably hundreds, I would assume.
Oh geez, no, definitely not for
Yeah.
that.
I mean, they could come out with a new one. They've got different lines like All Stars and whatever the new thing they're starting is.
Yeah.
So,
Secret's asking about Colonel Domesticus. He said a
oh
Colonel
yeah,
Roosterhead.
put that high up on my list of characters I wish I could get. But he's another one that's I don't know how many hundreds of dollars he is, but it's probably over 300. I would assume.
He is pretty amazing looking.
I would assume between $300 and $500
I
is what
mean
he would cost.
that is an immaculate figure.
I'd challenge you to find me a cooler looking night chicken out of any line ever. So I
Yeah.
wish I would have been collecting at the time they were coming out because I love all the birds.
Sam says we have my wife says we have no extra space in our apartment. That is true. She's not wrong there. But
You sell off some of those crappy NECAs.
hey, easy there. I probably saw some Legends first. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I think
that's
I do see why when you started getting into the Legions, you said maybe I'll cool it on the Legends and pivot to the Legions for
yeah.
quality, not quantity. Because honestly,
Hmm.
I recently went through a lot of sorting and putting things into sections, and a lot of it was like there are so many Marvel Legends for that I have that are just chilling in
Yeah,
totes that I don't
and I
do
think
anything with.
like for me, it's too. It's like when I open a figure, like as far as a scale goes, like I would say McFarlane's are usually the most likely to disappoint. Like, why did I spend my money on this?
Why would anyone buy this?
Right. And then it probably goes. I don't really get a lot of NECAs, so I don't really know where to put them in there. I always like it sucks having to spend like over $40 on a gargoyle figure that really I don't feel like poses that well. So I would maybe put NECA under Todd McFarlane just because they come with a lot of stuff and I like the gargoyles. I don't have to buy so many of them.
Close fourth to Todd.
And then I would say it's Legends, and especially recently, like I've been much more excited about Legends.
That's true.
But
But the
I
Legions.
I don't. There's like two figures ever. Like Dubon was a little disappointing to me when he came out, which is
Mm-hmm.
that was just because I had him way too built up in my own head.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there was probably like Afarius the Centaur was a little bit. He was just like so big that I was like, oh man, this is a lot of real estate. But every other Mythic
Mm-hmm.
Legion figure I've ever opened, so exciting when I do it because it's always better than I expected. So that's
Yeah,
yeah, it's a different ball game when
that's
you're
fair.
opening, just excitement wise. All right, we'll keep scrolling here.
Zach did some research, confirmed Colonel Domesticus is going for about 500 right now, he says.
That's what I thought.
And
The
Sam likes your backdrop. That adds a pop of color. Not sure what if that's you're,
my
you're being facetious.
my blanket back
Oh,
here.
probably your blanket. That is a
Yeah,
nice blanket. I do like that.
yeah.
Okay. It's a female orcs. Yeah, purple dragon. Is that like Figment?
I don't know if that was supposed to be Figment or not, but it's another
Oh.
one from like the bird. So again, it's
You have
between three and
Eagleus,
five
right?
hundred. I do have
Or
Eagleus.
Eagles?
That is a very like third figure I ever got.
You gotta bring that guy up so people can see him. Look at that thing.
That was
He
my
would
holy
look
grail.
he would look amazing with Colonel Domesticus.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I just love all the birds. Like that was when we were talking to Jeremy and he was asking like, what do you? I was like, I just
These
want the birds,
birds.
man. They're so cool. Like look at his swords, even got like kind of wing looking stuff on it. Yeah, that's. I don't know how you don't look at that and just say like that's a fun figure. I think that's probably the same way with all the birds though.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Aetheron is about to get a new 2.0 figure, so or
Which one
not
is
two,
he again?
like a 2.0 version. Kind of he's
Oh,
the faction leader of
right.
the Order of Aetheron. So it's gonna be this, but way better, way more bells and
When is
whistles.
that? How do you know that?
Because they were talking about it at the last reveal, the G-Con, because they had
Mm,
Basilia and Leodicius were in that wave, and they're like the beasts that are the faction
mm-hmm.
heads. And then people are like, "Whoa, wait a minute! Like this is another one that's several $100s." And same with Xylona. But they said like, "Don't worry, we're gonna have 2.0 versions coming out." They
Mm,
didn't say
okay.
when, but probably in the next year or two.
All right.
So I'll be going for that because
Mm-hmm.
as much as I'm a slut for big figures, I'm also a slut for figures with wings.
Who's
Fastia, that's the one.
Farless?
Oh, too
Faris?
slow. I already clicked on Fastia.
Oh,
Fastia.
whoops. Sorry.
But this was my number one figure that I wanted. So I traded one of my snake men for it. I don't know what your thoughts are on her, but big fan. Love the colors. Like the mace,
That is
like the
cool.
bucket helmet.
That
Yep.
does that is cool looking.
So I'll probably be shipping my snake men out in the
So
next
you
couple
will
days
be
to be
having
getting her.
her soon.
Yes, she
Okay.
is. She will be on her way soon. Which one were you
All
wanting
right.
about? Faunus?
Yeah. Let me have a closer look at that guy. What is he?
Okay.
Can't quite tell.
Kind of like a tree spirit looking guy.
Oh,
I like the look of him. Kind of like almost animal-y, little
Kind of like a
like
kind of sweet tooth looking.
yeah, got a
I'd
little
almost
root
like him
action.
less with like less armor type stuff to highlight his
Mm,
tree spiritness, but I like the
yeah,
idea.
yeah. I would assume it's probably just because
Hmm.
everything under his head is reuse, so it's easier to do that versus make a whole figure out of tree bark.
Makes sense.
Um, keep going here. Gadriel's another cool one.
Hmm.
Fury Orc. If you don't want your green orcs, you can get a red orc. I got one of him. One of our listeners gifted
Hmm.
me that at LegionsCon.
Gorgo Aether Blade. We know about him.
I think you should get a Hagnon, Jordan. That's
You
I am
would
of the
like me to
opinion
get that.
Hagnon is a great figure. Just even for pop and swaps alone, I
Hmm.
think it's cool to have kind of that like frost armor type of thing going on.
Give one of your regular guys some ghostly armor or something.
Yep, exactly. And
Yes.
it's a cool figure as is. You don't necessarily have
Yeah.
to pop and swap him, but I like
If
some of the pop and swaps
if you
people do.
do, you'll be
Hmm.
happy about
Yeah. Um, Anybody here? Let me know.
it. I'm looking. I'm looking.
I would put Drud, Jorund, Rune Shaper high on my list of figures I would like to get. I don't think like this is another one that's just crazy expensive, and I don't think they're ever going to redo him. I think he was a Kickstarter exclusive, so
Okay.
never to be seen again. I feel like you'd like Kaipacha too, another ranger type. You could swap the heads.
Yeah. You see that? Night
King Noglin,
Builder.
huh? Get yourself a goblin
Mm,
with him.
Noglin. Lady Ever. Oh, Lord Dragul, I thought looked kind of cool. I
Yeah,
know you said he's very expensive, so I'll probably
he's
never get
not.
my
Yeah, well,
hands
he's
on
not
him.
very expensive.
Oh,
You
I
could
thought you
probably
said he
get him.
was.
No, no, no. I was just saying. I don't know what I was saying, but he's not crazy.
I think he's got some kind of cool colors with the black,
Yeah,
the blue, and red.
yeah. I
Looks
think I
like a kind
swapped
of
his
fun.
blue appendages for red, and I like that
Mm.
look.
I just like that he's like a vampire knight, but he's not afraid to throw some color into his life. You know.
Yeah, yeah. It's a definitely unique because I mean I don't
Hmm.
know. What do you think? Like, is the blue? Do you imagine that's like his skin, or do you imagine that's like some sort of like
Oh,
clothing
I guess I
underneath?
thought it was armor, but you think it's skin?
The blue?
Yeah.
That's like tight on him.
Well, maybe he gets some tight armor.
Yeah. Okay. I always imagine that's like skin, but now as we were talking about him, I was like, oh, maybe it's actually not. I don't know. Um,
Mm.
Personally, can't wait for the bear. That makes sense. How do you feel about the bear, Jordan? Are you like,
It looked cool, but again, it's
uh
another one where got to be kind of choosy on my
sure,
larger
yeah,
characters. So, but
Lucretia,
did
vampire
look
lady?
cool. Oh, I don't have any vampire ladies.
I like the big. I don't know of any others that have the big kind of like collar like that. It looks like a bat too.
Mm.
I like it. It's a cool sword. Oh, she comes with that dagger. I'd never seen that dagger before, like Swig, but I guess it's older than I imagined.
Swig.
Magnus, people like that head on Magnus. Mm, there's if you're liking the birds, how about Malatard the duck? There you go. Look at that. Look at that
That,
bad boy.
that is wild.
That is an action figure.
Those are fun.
I would love if they redid all
Now,
those. I'd be all in, 100%.
oh yeah. Let me think here.
Neve, How do you feel about Neve? Get yourself a big,
Lady
strong lady.
Barbarian.
Yeah. Not feeling her.
I don't know.
If we're looking at the birds, we got to look at Pelicus. The
I
fact
know
that
I've
they like
seen
dreamed
him
these
before,
up and
but
made them, that's so
that's
good.
true.
I love them.
And it's your dream come true for you.
Yeah.
No, I do think those are fun.
At one point, you liked Ragna Stormforger.
I
Back
did
when.
think she was kind of cool looking. Nice little lady. She a
Dwarf.
dwarf or is she technically okay? Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
she's
she
a
looked
dwarf.
cool.
Yeah, I like the colors on her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see more of that.
Yeah, I think I also like that part of it.
Oh, I forget about Regarion until I see these cows, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this figure. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yes, please. And like the heads down here, that's like
You
the
love
heads
that.
of the Turpiculi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or maybe it's the Chimera. I think that's the size of it. A little bit smaller than the Turpiculi.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shadow Elf Ranger, does that tickle your fancy
It's
at all?
the Shadow
The Shadow Elves?
Centaur.
This one, Shadow Centaur.
No, quite. Maybe I'll recognize him when I see him.
It's one of the newer ones. So
What was he in?
He was in Ashes of Agbendor.
I don't think
So
I
maybe
recognize this one.
Well, maybe have to. I think I might have done a solo on this one. I like the Shadow Centaur more than the regular Centaur.
I think that makes the Centaur thing work a little more, in my opinion, if you were going to go with the Centaur. I just feel like it's always kind of weird when you got those like they're like horses, but then the horse kind of blends with the man. And then it just, I don't know, it just always makes me uncomfortable to look at. But maybe it's supposed to. This guy looks a little more, I don't know. I feel like centaurs can just look so goofy. And like this one looks a lot cooler to me. I don't think it's the fault of their design. Like I think like in Harry Potter when the centaur guy showed up, it's like, I don't know. It's always tough for me.
I've always loved centaurs. I think they're so cool. Centaurs and minotaurs, those are always my favorites.
I like minotaurs. I don't know about centaurs though.
You don't have any minotaurs? Well, I guess you do have the Furious.
Well,
Minotaur.
I mean like conceptually.
Sure. Okay.
Philosophically.
All right, I'm going to show you the Shadow Elf Ranger because I think it's. I like the colors on this.
Mm-hmm.
I like the purple and blue. I think that's a good combo.
That is fun.
Got that one. That one's high on the list of cool figures, I think. You wanted a Shadow Equidron at one point. I don't know if it was this one or if it was the other, but...
Just this, like, skeletal horseman?
Yeah. Does that still tickle your fancy, or you're kind of like, I've moved on from that?
I mean, I'd like to see it.
Okay. I've got one, so next time I get that out, I'll show it to you. Let's see.
I know you loved some of these knights here.
Oh, yeah. Saruxak's one of my favorites coming. I didn't get Scapular the Crypt Breaker. You saw the big giant statue of him at LegionsCon. Did that make
He was
you
the
wish
one that
had...
He's got kind of like that roby armor thing going on, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see him a little more.
Okay. Let's go. Here's his back. He's got kind of more goodies.
He did have quite a bit of stuff on him.
He's got the soft goods look too when he's in disguise.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that is kind of fun.
Yeah.
He does have some cool stuff, even if you were to get him and probably use the components, right?
Yeah.
Do you have him or no?
No, I didn't pre-order. I didn't pre-order him because he was the deluxe, and I was kind of like, I kind of just wish he was standard. I don't really need all the tchotchkes and collection stuff, which I like. I get it that it goes with the story and everything, but to me, I was like, it doesn't really warrant the extra money. So I know, and I could probably just buy it and sell all the extra stuff that I don't actually want, but Because I would assume you could just sell this like soft goods robe for $25, and
People probably
that's
would buy that.
right. So I think
He
it
does
looks
look
really
pretty
cool.
cool.
I could see myself getting him at some point,
Yeah,
but
I'd
yeah, I didn't pre-order him, so maybe
consider
I'll be
that
kicking
one with you.
myself. Okay. How about Snag? I think Snag is like the face of the goblins to me, like with the
Mm.
nose and ears.
I like him more. I like him more than I like the orcs. I think
Okay.
I'd go this route for my goblins. I would
Sure.
like some goblins actually,
Mm,
like this guy.
okay.
I
Yeah,
think
I
those
think he
would be
looks pretty
fun.
fun.
Hmm.
Let's see. You got the Goblin 2-pack that's on pre-order now.
Mm.
I don't know if you that might have been part of the stuff that I soloed, so I don't know if you've seen these guys.
I think I do remember seeing these.
Okay.
Yes.
Are these the kind of goblins you'd be interested in, or you're like, the
I
other
think
ones?
I think those look cool. I think those are more
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
They've got a lot of cool, kind of design to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more into the goblins than the orcs,
Okay.
personally.
Understandable.
If I were to,
You were kind of
watch it.
interested in Thrasus, the first Risen, when he was
Yes,
coming.
I was a little bit. I like that he's a skeleton with a beard. It's kind of cool, and I
I
liked
do like when they have
his
beards.
colors of the
Yeah.
like orangey, purple, green
Mm-hmm.
was fun. So I like that too.
Moving through. Got a couple more goblins. I've got Thump. He's pretty fun. I think Torian is a very good figure too. He might be a little bit more expensive now. Still
Mm-hmm.
probably under 100, I think, but really cool Minotaur.
Some comments saying the goblins have the most personality. I could
Yeah,
see
I
that.
could see
They
that.
do
Yeah.
have. They
I
do look
always
cool.
pose my Thump. He's usually like sitting on the side of, or like on the edge of my shelf with his feet like hanging off of it. I just imagine
Right.
he's like sitting there, there's a battle going on, but he's too busy watching the clouds, picking out shapes and stuff. That's just how I imagine Thump's personality.
He's just doing his own thing.
Yep.
He'll check in eventually.
Yeah. Some more vampires for you. I don't think
Lone
those ones
Dragon said, "Thanks a lot. Now I want all the birds."
Yeah,
Bummer.
as much as I want all the birds, I probably will never own more than. Maybe I'll get like one or two more birds if I get lucky, but
Don't talk like that.
I'd much rather just have. I'd rather have like 6 new figures than one bird.
That's true.
And that's about what you'd have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shui was part of the.
Zalnarian Guard. I do want him for sure.
Yep.
He would be cool.
I think this Shui would go well with some of your stuff.
Shui. Show me the Shui.
He's the librarian.
Oh,
that's
right.
kind of like keeping record of everything
Keeper
going
of the
down.
knowledge.
Right. But he also gets powered up and he's a ghost guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which like this part makes me I'll be like, oh, actually I kinda like that.
Ghost boy.
And then this is Xylona, the other one that's gonna get updated probably this yearish.
Dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. So I'll be interested to see how they do that.
Bambi's revenge.
Yeah. So your
Okay.
next up is Xylerian Guard or a Black
I think
Knight.
he'd be. Yeah, I mean a Black Knight would be cool, but I should probably get the guard first. Could give me some more variety, some more color, some more parts. As you said, he's very probably cool to do in lots of different contexts.
Mm-hmm. I'll say the problem with him though is he's kind of like a part of the army, so it makes sense if you just have 3, 4.
You need at least
13
a
of
couple. Is the problem?
Right. I think I have 2 of them.
Yeah,
he's got some of the soft goods there, but yeah,
I do like soft goods. I like his shield. I like his sword.
Yeah, with the shield you can take the backside off, which is how I have him displayed because I imagine it more of like it can block, but it's also like you could ram that through somebody if you needed to. So
Yeah, He'd probably be the one I think about next. It'd be fun to find a Black Knight somehow, but
Okay.
I'd have to do research.
Yeah, I got to figure out what my next one is that I want. I think Asturion would be kind of high. I like him.
Mhm.
Have I conquered all lands? I would like Ravenna. I'd have to look up how much she is if that would be worth trading a Snake Man for. Just because, I mean,
Mhm.
mainly Savannah cosplayed as her, so that would be really cool.
Mhm.
Um, oh, I want Queen Urxa is also high on my list. I'd like to get her.
Oh, yeah. See that in your
They're going to do
collection.
another version of Otho soon. But yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't done a deep dive into Cosmic Legions yet, so maybe that's for another day.
That might be for
But
another day, but
I think that was kind of my problem was like, I was like, I don't really want to get into Cosmic Legions. That's another line. And then I did. And then I did. So hold off on that for just a little bit, but not too long. Cause if there's things you like, you don't want to get caught, having to pay extra for old stuff. But I think their prices, I don't think are going to go crazy anytime soon.
yeah.
So, all right. Caught up on comments and everything.
I think so. Relatively.
Oh, Headless Horseman, Lone Dragon just brought up. He's one that you kind of want too, right?
Headless Horseman. Yeah, I think I would. That's probably the one like horse I would think about just because it would be
Yeah.
on theme, and then I'd get him too.
Yeah.
So if I could find a way to make that work, I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When we were just looking the other day at the prices for him, and it wildly varies from like
Like
100 to
100 to
200.
200. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
all
yeah, I think
over.
if you could find him for 100, that'd be a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always the retailer version too, but I think that's a little bit more expensive than the first one even was. And I kind of like the look of the first one too. So
I think I do too.
yeah. All right, folks, that is going to wrap it up for this live stream. I think we've done a good service to Jordan. He knows his direction he's headed in now. I think we can look forward to some rankings as soon as he gets his new figures in of
Yeah,
where.
I'll have a decent. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to count them up, but I mean that would be definitely in the teens. I'm in the teens. Maybe
Right.
the mid to high teens. I think at that point might be
Yeah.
close.
So we
Maybe
could
not
do a whole
that high,
breakdown
but
of top to bottom. So all right. Make sure you're liking, sharing. Oh, I had a banner I was going to put up, but I always forget to.
oh, what's our giveaway for the Legion while we're talking about them? You want to
We're
remind
giving
people?
away Illigar. Yeah, let me
You
pull him
want an
back up.
Illigar, folks.
So I'll show him off. We've got this guy right here. Which he's one that I think you'd like to, Jordan. So maybe we should have talked about that before we were giving him away, but he was meant for a giveaway.
That's okay.
So kind of a
Folks, so you
skeleton
could win this for free.
for free.
For free. What do they need to do to try to win this guy, Dakota?
You got to make sure you're subscribed and then go back to what video even was that we did? Let me see. Videos. So you got to go back to our Mythic LegionsCon, and a dragon video. So the last Legions video we did, go back there, comment. The rules and everything are on that video. But then, yeah, we'll probably be doing this giveaway this week. Like, we'll be recording the episode this weekend. So if you want this, make sure you're entering that in the next day. And then we'll get that sent out to the winner post haste. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, stay strong. Good. For free?
For free. All
Are
right.
we out? Or are we still on?
We're out. I think we're out, dude. Hmm.
I think we're still live. I
Really?
think I got to go over to my thing.
Mine says all set.
There
You
it
can
is.
leave the app now.
Yeah, see, Zach says still on.
Oh.
Mr. Frog says no. We'll do it live. See, I told you we're still on. How do you end this thing? They're going to watch us sleep.
Might be some money in that. We'll do it live. Play us